Hi, I'm Rachel here with my cat Leia and about to do my AM reading for this weekend. Hopefully less long than last weekend, no huge soliloquies to Goodreads this time. Instead, I want to focus on an activism opportunity online called Read for Refugees. I haven't seen it advertised on BookTube that much, but it seems like something that might interest a lot of you. It's an initiative to stay in and read and donate the money you would have spent on a night out to Refugee Point. Refugee Point is a charity that deals in several countries in Africa with the most at-risk refugees, including the elderly and women and survivors of torture and others. And I have a link to Read for Refugees down in the description box. This also affords the opportunity to talk about the world's long history of refugees and immigrants, and specifically, I guess I'm talking about the U.S. because I'm a U.S. citizen, and specifically beyond that, I am a Jewish American citizen, so my history is filled with immigrants and refugees. And it just so happens that I had already picked out 3 novels to read this month that deal with the topic of Jewish immigrants and refugees, and I wanted to highlight them here. I am reading them as part of my Sammy Rohr Prize initiative. The Sammy Rohr Prize is put out by the Jewish Book Council, and it rewards emerging Jewish authors. This month I'm reading the 2011 winner and runners-up, and I hope within the next week or so to have a fuller review video, so check back for that. But for the time being, I thought I'd give a quick synopsis of these books. This first one I started reading tonight is Stations West by Allison. It's about 4 generations of the Horowitz family that arrive in the Oklahoma Territory in the mid-19th century, and then it goes into the 20th century. It's of particular interest because there's not a lot of Jews out there, and they have to interact a lot with other groups of immigrants and with the Native Americans, and it'll provide a really interesting tapestry to Jewish American history that is often overlooked because it's not New York. This part is definitely less well known, but it happens to be similar to my family's Jewish history because my family ended up in the Midwest. I'm back on the East Coast now, but the family's still in the Midwest. So far, I'm really enjoying this book, and I can't wait to get back to it. Next, with its lovely interlibrary loan sheet covering the cover, I have The Cosmopolitans by Nadia Kalman. The Cosmopolitans is about the Malachink family, a Russian Jewish immigrant family that settles in suburban Connecticut. This, I believe, is interconnected short stories or chapters told from various people's points of view, where daughters wed, houses flood, cultures clash, according to the promotional information. It's also being compared to Jane Austen and Gogol, and so that's all very interesting to me. Plus, I have to get to reading it fast because I can't renew this, and it'll have to go back to the library. This final novel is The Jump Artist by Austin Ratner. It's a fictional retelling of a real-life incident that happened to a Jewish American refugee who was born in the Russian Empire, but before he got to America, he was actually convicted falsely of his father's murder. I don't really think I can do this synopsis justice on my own, so I'm going to read from the back. The Jump Artist is based on the true and largely unknown story of renowned photographer Felice Halsman, a man Adolf Hitler knew by name, who Sigmund Freud wrote about in 1930, and who put Marilyn Monroe on the cover of Life magazine. The story begins in September 1928, when Halsman and his father were hiking in the Tyrolean Alps. While Halsman went ahead on the trail, his father was attacked and murdered. The Jewish 22-year-old from Latvia found himself alone in hostile territory. Nazism was on the rise, and Innsbruck's foremost forensic pathologist, Karl Meixner, saw to it that Halsman would be tried for the killing of his father. It was a miscarriage of justice that foreshadowed the many horrors to come in Austria. And though the events are now lost to the shadows of the Holocaust, they provoked a scandal that was then known across Europe as the Austrian Dreyfus Affair. Many intellectuals, including Albert Einstein, came to Halsman's aid in a battle that pitted reason against irrational prejudice. Delving deeply into the suffering and trauma that Halsman experienced and his eventual renewal through the art of photography and love, The Jump Artist tells the extraordinary tale of a man who transforms himself from a victim of rampant anti-Semitism into a purveyor of the marvelous. So yeah, I'm hoping this will be an uplifting story about somebody who's been persecuted unjustly, coming to a new place and finding new meaning in his life. That's definitely the sort of inspiring story that would be great to hear about now. That's about it for me now. Remember, the Read for Refugees link is down in the description box below. I hope you'll check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.